The three main types of sex offender bullying on today's Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. Hello, how are you? And welcome back to another edition of Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. Today, in this episode, we're talking about the three main types of sex offender bullying. Now, this came to me from the comment section of one of the videos that we had posted on the channel. And it's very important that we address this. I felt so bad when I read the comment that someone had moved into a neighborhood and they were being harassed by people in the neighborhood. First of all, that is against the law. And if that happens to you, be sure to consult a lawyer so that you know what your rights are, because no one has the right to harass another person. These are the three main types of sex offender bullying. And it is going to have a subset to follow it. And I will do the primary and the subset. The first main bully is the politician. The politician wants to run for office, right? But he has no platform. What's he gonna run on? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna say? The number one thing is marginalized people, right? Politicians love marginalized people. Why? Because they are ready for the pickings. He can't go to the upper middle class. He can't go to the middle class. He has to find his victims or his problems in marginalized people. So he will go after the drug addicts. He will go after the felons. And of course, he will go after everybody's favorite, the sex offender. And in the process of going after the sex offender with his bullying tactics, we're trying to save the children. They're after your kids. They're after your children. They're not after your children. But this bully just wants a public office. He just wants to be famous. He just wants to get elected. He just wants to have power. And he has to get his power from somewhere. And he gets his power from powerless people, the marginalized people that society don't care about, wouldn't listen to anyway, and don't think they deserve a voice or rights. And so the politician can come after sex offenders full on, drug addicts full on, convicted felons full on. And when you're talking about sex offenders and saving the children, who's going to go against that? There's no one in the world who's going to say, hey, that's a terrible idea. So he knows it's a bona fide winner, and he knows that he can't lose with it. You can't debate it. You can't debunk it. There's no way he can lose with it. And the subset of this is law enforcement. Why? Because law enforcement has to enforce the rules or the new laws that politicians come out with. So now they're bullying too. Not by choice, but of course, there's a new law, so we have to round everybody up. Politicians and law enforcement go hand in hand, and they are going to always be in lockstep when it comes to sex offender bullying. The number two bully on the hill for sex offenders is the media. And I've covered these in a previous video. And the media, this is a big dog on the block. Why? The media has all the great TV shows and all the great personalities, and they keep things wide open. And these shows are wonderfully edited and wonderfully written to tell the story from the perspective that they want you to get. Shows like Law and Order SVU, it's very famous and a very good show with very good actors and actresses. These shows are extremely powerful. These TV shows turn out exactly the way the people creating them want them to turn out to get the message across that they want to get across, so that they can keep their foot on the necks of sex offenders. People who aren't even doing anything to anybody. But if you're registered, these shows are designed to keep their foot on your neck. The Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah Winfrey is a very, very powerful woman, and she has a worldwide following. Whether it's Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Escaping Neverland, or whatever it happens to be, she is a very loud and powerful voice when it comes to bullying sex offenders, even if they're not even trying to be on the show, as they did in that show in Florida, where she was talking, or had her colleague down there talking to guys in Florida who were living in the woods. Why bother those people? Why have the media out there to have them in a bad light if they're not going to do anything to try to help them? Buy everybody a tent, a nice one. Why can't you do that? But it's all about exploitation. And so the media is the big dog on the hill. And we can't forget everybody's favorite To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen. Oh, Chris Hansen had a fabulous run with this show, chasing sex offenders where everybody sits on the edge of their seat and applaud. It was all just actors and actresses. It's just a ploy. It's not even real. These are the major bullies of sex offenders, and the subset of the media is, of course, the local news. Why? Because the local news wants the ratings that the big shows are getting. They want the eyes that the national media is getting. And so if there's something going on in the local news market, they jump all over it, because sex offenders equal ratings. And so they go after any local sex offender story because it's good for ratings and good for eyes and good for drama. If it bleeds, it leads, right? And so that's what this is all about. And what is the subset of the media? Again, local media and local communities. And so now the local citizens get stirred up in the community, and now they're looking for sex offenders. Where are they? Who are they? We don't want them in our neighborhood. They're after our children. And so they just start repeating everything else everybody else is saying. It comes from the national down to the local, and then down to your local neighborhood, and people start getting harassed. And then they send out the notifications. And as soon as those notifications go out, people are going to be harassed, and people can be hurt. We have to also understand that this can lead to employee bias as well. It happened to me, even though I had a job working for a landscape company. Because I was a sex offender, they were always biased toward me. If there was some tough work to do, Ahmad will do it. If there was something to do with pushing a lawnmower up a hill, Ahmad will do it. There was always this bias toward me, this negative feeling toward me that somehow I had to suffer more than anybody else at the job. that I was the person that was the whipping boy. If there was something going to be happening or something bad to be said, it was to be said to me. If there had been a problem on the job that I had nothing to do with, but I was there, I was going to be the one to catch all the headache and all the flack, because this is what sex offender bullying is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual definition of bullying. So what is a bully? And this is the actual dictionary definition of a bully: a person who habitually seeks to harm or intimidate those whom they perceive as vulnerable. Because sex offenders are seen as vulnerable, people look to bully them. And the sad part is it happens a lot. And so this is why I saved this last category for last. To me, it is the worst of all. It is the worst of all. It is family harassment. Family harassment. To me, it is the biggest bully of all. And I think every person who is a sex offender has felt it. Pay this bill. I'm going to need your money. I'm going to need your help on this bill. Fine, I'll help you pay the bill. Here's my half of the money. Well, no, I'm going to need more than that. No, I'm going to need all the money. What? Yeah, I'm going to need all your money on this. Well, I thought we agreed that I'd pay half. No, I need it all or you can get out. If there was some work to do, hey, man, you want to till up my garden for me? Hey, I don't mind helping you with the garden. No, I need you to till it up. I'm doing you a favor letting you live here, so you can just do the whole thing. Hey, man, I need my car washed. You want to wash my car for me? Yeah, I guess I can wash the car. Ain't no big deal. Man, people hate me because of you. I hate you. I hate you living here. You're eating up all my food. You're sleeping too long. Whatever goes wrong in the house is your fault. Because it's their house and you shouldn't be there and they don't want you there. And they're going to make sure that you know that they don't want you there. So everything that happens is your fault because you're a no good sex offender, pedophile, child molester who showed up at their door and they don't want you there. This is just a home plan that they were forced into. They just happen to be your relatives. And now you're just there taking up their space, making their neighbors know that they got a pedophile or sex offender in their house and they hate you for it. And they're going to let you know about it. What is the subset? The subset is abuse and domestic violence. This is very serious. Abuse and domestic violence. Why brothers and sisters are fighting. Why husbands and wives are fighting. Why sons can't get along with their fathers. Because people are abusing other people that they don't like, that they see as an inconvenience, that they see as beneath them. Because they're vulnerable. They don't have any money. They can't live in the neighborhoods everybody else can live in. Nobody's going to hire them. They have to ask people for money. And you're an embarrassment. The subset of abuse and domestic violence is why people are fighting and going to jail and destroying their families. I don't care what you say. Either you do what I tell you or you can get out. Either you do what I tell you or I'll put you back in jail. Run your mouth and I'll put you in handcuffs. I've heard it all. They see the home plan as a license to lord over you because they're going to run things and they're going to tell you what to do, whether you like it or not. Help is one thing. But abuse is something else. And we have to be very, very careful with our loved ones not to cross that line. We have to be very careful with our words, that we pick the right words. It's terrible to come home from prison and have your family treat you worse than the people in prison did. I understand what that's like. I've seen it and I felt it. And I was so happy that I was blessed to be able to get on my feet and stand on my own. But family abuse is not necessary, because from the politician perspective to the media perspective, the family is something we can control. It's within our range of influence. We can control how we treat our family members. We should be very, very careful to love our family members who need us and not abuse them. It is very easy to turn abuse into a domestic violence and destroy your family. So now you know the three main types of sex offender bullying: the politician, the media, and potentially family. I'm Ahmad Blakemore. I am the modern day leper, and I will see you on the next one. Please remember to like the videos, comment, and subscribe. And together we will go from the margins to center stage. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Uh-huh.